Today I'm going to talk about the causes of lichen planus. Many patients, they often ask us, I've had such a good life, everything is going so nice and smooth. What could be the reason? Why am I suffering from lichen planus? Why do I have these patches? Especially post-pandemic, we see the cases of lichen planus have increased. Patients are in a very stressful condition seeing these patches and have no idea what to do about it. After having multiple lasers, PRP and all the latest procedures, the modern techniques across the globe, we see failures and just failures. We see failures across the globe, reoccurrences, and everyone claiming there is no cure for lichen planus at all. Ayurveda cures it completely, but very important is to know what are the two causes which should be considered and given utmost importance, and what are the efforts that are required, what is it that is required to cure the roots of lichen planus. So many causes and so many types, especially types. We see oral lichen planus, genital, sclerosis, planopilaris. We see a common type, hypertrophic lichen planus. And then comes the most upsetting and stressful lichen planus, which is the lichen planus pigmentosus. Patient has discoloration, moves upwards, neck, face, and it is very sad to see such patients and see and imagine, have, they are sitting at their position and to see what they are suffering from. But it is the causes that one needs to know, one needs to understand, and these are the causes that we see in every single patient. Let's understand about the causes of lichen planus. Make sure you watch till the end. Namaste everyone, welcome to Jyovis Hospital of Ayurveda and Aesthetic Center, Mumbai. Lichen planus and its symptoms, we relate it to the Ayurvedic terminology, a disease called as Charma Kushta, explained 5,000 years ago. Those principles, those treatment protocols applied in today's time, applied in future, we see patients completely recovering. As a practitioner seeing patients on a day-to-day basis, what could be the possible causes? What is something that we see after we take history? After having, patients in almost 40 plus countries, what is it that we see and study? Let's understand number one cause. Number one, we see medicine toxicity. There are various drugs that induces lichen planus. An example could be Orlistat induced lichen planus. You can search on the internet for a layman. There are so many drugs where toxicity is seen or which induces the lichen planus. It could be the vaccine, it could be drugs, it could be anything. There are so many. So very important is when we happen to ask patients what really happened 3 months, 6 months, 1 year before you started seeing your first patch, patients often tell us that yes, I had malaria, dengue fever, there was typhoid, there was a long-term fever or heavy dose was given, there was some problem, some course, something that went on. I used to take on and off acidity medicine, allergy medicine, antihistamine, on and off medicine, some history, 3 months, 6 months later, lichen planus. What could be done? Of course, this is leading to Garavish as per Ayurveda. Garavish is a poison collected, hence you remove it out, you eliminate with the Dushi Vishari, with the Vilvadi, Mahatikta. So many different protocols are given in Ayurveda to eliminate the Garavish. That's first thing. But the cause, if you have lichen planus, you must remember that you consider this. If you have lichen planus or don't have lichen planus, you must generally know that this is the number one cause. Second, 40%. First is 60%. Second, 40% we see, which is a general cause again, but in lichen planus we specifically see stress and emotional stress, emotional breakdown, some kind of an emotional breakdown where the patient is emotionally done. Some kind of a death, some kind of a separation, some kind of an emotional breakdown, lichen planus post 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. In the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, Arjuna, who's a fighter, friend and devotee of Lord Krishna, he says to Lord Krishna that if you tell me to stop the wind, I can stop the wind. But if you tell me to control the mind, I cannot do it. And then the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord, helps Arjuna in controlling the mind by, teaching him the best of lessons of life. So, patients tell me I have so much of stress, we can't control it. But let me tell you, stress is directly equal to the number of minutes, hours, days, weeks, years you spend thinking about the problem. So mind is something which is totally in our control. Before we start with the treatment, these two causes have to be considered and has to be given complete importance. How do we control it? Through subconscious programming, stress management through yoga, pranayam like the Nadi Shodhan pranayam, Anulom Vilom pranayam and Kapalbhati pranayam. These are very, very important before we start with any treatment protocol. And then comes the Ayurveda, where in the videos we've shared several remedies. We've spoken about Karanj, we've spoken about Pindasvaith. These are two things that many patients worldwide they've followed at home and they've seen the step-by-step results. But very important, if the leaves of the tree, if they are not having a life, would you put water over the leaves? Of course, yes, right? You'd put water over the leaves? The answer is no, you wouldn't. You would put the water at the roots. The root is the mind. The stan of man is said in the hriday. The stan of rasadhatu is said in the hriday. Rasadhatu is the first tissue. Tissues are those that hold our body. From the rasadhatu, the rakta, mas, med, asti, majja, and shukra for male, artha for female. Uttar dhatus get the poshan. Tissues, these are tissues, sapta dhatu. Tissues are those which holds our body. So when the chintanam is seen, when the stress or worry is seen, we see all these problems coming up. So it is us destroying our own self. Hence immune system, autoimmune, which means immune system attacking the own organs, own skin. All these autoimmune conditions we see Aahar, Vihar and Vichar. All these three leading to nothing but just stress. So one is the medicine toxicity, one is the stress. And then comes the treatment protocol, diet restriction, herbs, do's, don'ts, the Rakta Mokshan, which is the ultimate treatment. We have Vidya Karma, we have Agni Karma, we have the Rakta Mokshana, and different protocols, Potli Sweth, Pinda Sweth, we've explained in our videos. I'll put the link in the description. Go through these, start with it, and you see the changes, how Ayurveda cures such incurable conditions, provided we consider the cause. Very important, Lichen Planus is not a disease which responds as easily as psoriasis, urticaria, or dermatitis, eczema. It takes time, it is a stubborn condition. You must start with the treatment provided you follow and eliminate the causes. You have discipline, continuation with the treatment. Third, you are having the patience to give it the time that it needs. Every patient of Lichen Planus is recovering, has recovered. We talk to patients in 40 plus countries today. We see patients have complete cure. Thousands of testimonials. What is important is you give it the time that it needs. It's not as easily responding as other skin diseases or any other disease. It is something which requires a lot of work, a lot of struggle. Number one is the patches that are going to be seen in the future. Hence, immunomodulatory action, mind. And patches that have already, are there over the body. We require external Ayurveda protocol to get rid of those patches. So this is all for now. This is how Ayurveda looks at Lichen Planus and has a complete cure for it. Any doubts, any questions, let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, from Jyovis and the team, look impressive, be progressive.